What up, viewers? What up? What up? Today is Good Friday, Friday, April 19th. As someone said to me this week, every Friday is a Good Friday, but today is the Good Friday. Um, yeah, so lots of stuff. A few things happened in video game news this week, so let's jump right in. First off, in a rather weird way, PlayStation has announced the PlayStation 5 is coming. Um, Mostly what it was a spec talk, and that's probably what I'll talk about in the next few minutes. But Mark Cerny, the PlayStation architect, spoke on an interview on Wired. He talked about the specs for the new PlayStation. I guess if this is the only way they can like announce things, because they didn't do it at the State of Play at the end of last month, and they're not going to be at E3. I don't know when they're going to talk about their console. So they apparently did it in an interview with the PlayStation architect and a game journalist. It talked about having solid state drive. It talked about having, which I think is a good improvement. I've had a solid state in my PC for a long time, and I'm surprised that consoles are just now getting around to having solid states. What else did it have? Talked about 8K support, and I think this is I don't know who that's for, because I don't know who has 8K support anywhere. Pretty sure I haven't seen any 8K TVs out there, and 4K monitors are just now like becoming a thing. So I can see the future proofing of making an 8K, making it support 8K. But why would I pay extra for a feature that I'm not going to be able to utilize until the market has been saturated with 8K content? So not really sure who 8K is for, but they talked about having backwards compatibility and a few other techie details that I'll put down below. Obviously, it'll have a bigger hard drive because that's what people want. I'm pretty sure they're not stupid enough to give you a smaller hard drive. And it'll come with a disc, a disc loader, which is more than we can say about Xbox's most recent released console, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, overall, I'll probably get it just because my PlayStation 4 Pro is getting a little old. It'll have PlayStation VR support, which should be interesting. I'm glad that they're still supporting PlayStation VR, even if it's less than would be desired. There's not a lot of content on it, but they'll continue to support it into the next console generation, which is good. Yeah, overall, I'll end up buying it and finding some way to heap some junk together to make it so that I'm actually utilizing 8K. But yeah, it just seemed like a weird choice for me. Also, just a weird choice of announce. I don't understand. They didn't give a date or anything, but I talking in an interview like this seems like a weird way to announce your console, rather than a big spectacular press conference. But that's how they chose to do it, and here we are talking about it. Moving on. God of War. I think a while back, Corey Barlog talked about how God of War won't have any DLC, but there is anniversary content that was supposed to be dropping sometime soon. If it drops on the same time the game came out, it would drop tomorrow. So look at your God of War games and see if there's any new content tomorrow. I don't quite understand the difference between anniversary content and no DLC. I don't know how both of those things can exist at the same time, but we should be getting more God of War content, which is good. I was really blown away by the fact that they weren't going to do new DLC or anything like that, because it seemed like I think there's 9 realms. I think there's 9 realms in Norse mythology, and we could only go to like 6 or 7 of them. So obviously, it seemed at the time that you could go to the next 2 realms. Those would be DLC. I don't really remember. There probably wasn't a season pass or anything like that. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. It just seems weird. I want more God of War content, and I would pay DLC money to play more God of War. But hopefully I get some for free on the anniversary of the game's launch tomorrow. Moving on up, the GameStop has a new return policy that they talked about. This week they announced that they have a 48-hour after a game launches return policy. I wonder how exact that's going to be. I would hope that it's like if a game launches on Friday, you could return it on Sunday. But you could be really finicky. They could be really finicky about the 48 hours, especially since they sometimes launch games at 9 p.m., especially here on the West Coast. But yeah, I don't know how you abuse that, because I would think most games you'd have to put in like literally 24 hours to like beat most games. But I could see somehow people are gonna break it. I don't know if they're like losing market share and they want this return policy to somehow like coerce people back to them. But I don't know if that's gonna work. But interesting. Let me know your thoughts on a 48-hour return policy. It's even more restrictive than Steam's return policy. But yeah, should be interesting. Next up, yesterday on April 18th, Thursday, April 18th, Cuphead came out on the Nintendo Switch, which I'm obviously going to pick up. I've been waiting to play Cuphead for so long. I think I owned an Xbox at the time Cuphead came out, and I just didn't want to buy it because I wanted to play it on something else. I don't know if I was waiting for something else, but now that it's out on Switch, I'm going to pick it up. I'm planning to play it with my coworkers, play it with my fiance. It looks super awesome. I haven't looked at the reviews yet. I don't know if I would assume that the Switch port is just as smooth as any of the other games, especially with the art style. But I hope it runs smoothly and everything's good on the Switch version, which I guess I'll find out after I buy it. Next, my favorite cooking chaotic relationship testing game is Overcooked 2, and there's a new set of DLC that's all camping themed, and so you can run around creating s'mores, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. The trickle out of content has been good enough for Overcooked 2 to like keep me engaged. So I've been playing it occasionally. But I just love the game. I think the game is so smart and simple, and I can't say enough good things about Overcooked 2. And if you want to run around as woodland creatures and cook s'mores with your friends while you all shout out random crap, go ahead and pick up Overcooked 2, play the new DLC, like I will be doing soon. There was a video, if you're looking for more info, there was a video talking about going into like what Rage 2 is all about. I saw an article this week, I think, that said something along the lines of it's like Far Cry mixed with a superhero vibe and Doom, obviously. I wonder what the superhero. I mean, I've seen the Wasteland superhero trailer, but I don't understand why they're going for this like superhero thing. It feels very shoehorned. Just say that you're Mad Max and you're running around blowing people up with Mad Max crazy stuff, or just say you're Doom guy in the Wasteland. I don't know. The superhero angle just always seemed weird to me. But yeah, I'm looking for more information. It sounds super cool. I'm debating whether or not my next game is Rage 2 or Days Gone, which launches next week, and so I'll probably be talking about that next week. The review scores will probably determine whether or not I pick it up. Maybe I just want The Last of Us 2 so bad that I'm picking up Days Gone. Anyway, I was talking about Rage 2. Yeah, I don't understand the superhero angle. But I feel like all the gameplay I've seen, the shooting is going to be just as smooth and fluid and awesome as it is in Doom. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I want more Doom, and I want to run around in a shooter that feels like Doom. And if it's Mad Max Wasteland themed, all the better. So yeah, tell me what you think of Rage 2, what your next game is, what games you're currently playing. Feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Steam is having a franchise sale this weekend on the Hands of Fate trilogy series. It's not trilogies, it's a sequel, or it's a bilogy. I don't know what you call it. two movies, just the original and the sequel. Anyway, Steam has a sale on those two titles, and a lot of the DLC that came out for those two titles should be fun. I watched some gameplay. I think I downloaded it for free on PlayStation Plus. I'm interested in Hands of Fate. I haven't played too much of it. This could be a way for me to pick it up. But that did get me to the point where I've said it once and I've said it again. I could see playing Hands of Fate on Switch, and so now I'm looking for the Switch port if it doesn't already exist. Yeah, so tell me what you think of Hands of Fate. Tell me if you pick it up on Steam. Next off, Cuphead and more Cuphead-related news. In more Cuphead-related news, there is a vinyl being put out with all the Cuphead music on it, and I, as a bearded white guy, am hipstery enough to buy a Cuphead vinyl, so I might be looking at how do I pick that up. I've played a little bit of Cuphead, and the soundtrack I think is amazing. I like the big band jazzy type music from some of my favorite games like BioShock and Fallout. So super interested in seeing what that's all about. Yeah, tell me what you think of Cuphead's music. Last but certainly not least, there is a $500 way that you can get a computer that is Fallout inspired. For $500 you can buy a blue case that comes with a Fallout stylized motherboard. It's very blue. It's got a window that shows like some very classic looking Fallout imagery of like computer systems. Looks super cool. $500 is a little steep, but if you're a diehard Fallout fan like I am, you might pick up a PC. I'm also looking at trying to create a new PC sometime soon. So yeah, looking at if you're a Fallout fan and you're building a PC, you can invest $500 and get a case and a motherboard that's all Fallout inspired. So yeah, that was the video game news report. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you thought about. If you think I missed anything, if you think you wanted me to talk about something more, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. If you're watching this on Friday live on Twitch, I appreciate you checking it out there. A follow and a subscribe goes a long way, and you could be featured at the upper left if you're my most recent follower and or subscriber. And if you're watching this Saturday when I usually upload this to YouTube, a like and a subscribe goes a long way. You can get more video game news content there, and you can click a bell to see if every time I upload one of these, or you can just check back every Friday or Saturday. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a good Friday. Hope you have a good weekend. Enjoy, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.